we don't want to focus on we're failing because we're not being as perfect as we are when we're at home. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
Hi guys, welcome to Naomi and Jerry from the Alpha Hub and the Body Transformation Hub. We're away on holidays at the moment, but what we'd like to talk to you about today is staying fit, staying healthy and staying as lean as possible on holidays.
Yeah, so we thought this was an applicable, cool topic to do, seeing as we are on holiday, so we're putting it into action ourselves, and obviously as a part of everyone's life, you're away at times, maybe sometimes away for work, but obviously away on holiday, and you want to find that balance between having fun, enjoying yourselves and socialising and being around family and friends, but at the same time you don't want to come home feeling rubbish, exhausted, really toxic, overloaded, and having put on weight, feeling low in energy and sluggish. So we want to bring some tips and tricks and a few things that you can do to keep balance in the holiday and come home feeling really great still and staying as lean as you possibly can.
It's always hard when you're around friends and family, so the best thing to do, to try to do anyway, is to always pick the healthiest option, whether you're going out to a restaurant or just going around traveling every day, and finding the healthiest possible options in regards to stopping at a restaurant, stopping at bakeries and things like that. So there's always plenty of options out there, and especially nowadays it's really easy to eat healthy and stay healthy when you're on trips and things like that. You might have to look a little bit further, but it's always worth your while if you're really trying to focus on a transformation or whatever you're trying to do. So there are options out there, you just might have to look a little bit harder.
Yeah, so with that looking, that's where it comes in. Some of the key points to this success and getting this whilst you're on holiday is planning ahead, doing a little bit of research, but keeping that balance in there as well. So when Jerry's talking about looking a bit further, we could actually literally talk about research. So just open your Google Maps, where are you going today? What's in that town, what cafes, restaurants are there. You could even look, do they have a menu there that you could go through and kind of get ahead of what option you're going to place and what you're going to eat from the menu. So it's absolutely possible to stay fit and stay lean, stay feeling good on holiday. We just need to apply that planning and that balance.
The one thing to stay true to yourself is to have a realistic mindset, because there are going to be changes, there are going to be things that will happen differently to your normal working life, and you just got to accept that some things might be different and you might not feel 100% when you're away on holiday. So it's always good to be able to adapt and be able to overcome little challenges that you're going to receive on your holidays. So that's really, really important.
Yeah, so we're looking at staying consistent, not perfect. So when you're at home, you may be sticking to a really rigid plan with your work, your everyday lifestyle, your nutrition, your training, doing things at the same time. When you're on holiday, obviously you're doing things at different times. You've got activities, people to see, going to bed later, maybe getting up later. So we don't want to focus on we're failing because we're not being as perfect as we are when we're at home. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. And we can look at that 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time trying to stick to the plan, so with our sleep time, our wake time, what we're eating, and other lifestyle habits and exercise whilst we're away, and 20% of the time just let ourselves indulge, let that 20% be the fun things that you want to do and have those memories when you're away on holiday. So we'll go through a list of some tips and tricks and pointers as to what you can focus on when you're away. So let's start with nutrition. So we want to look at high protein, good quality proteins in our meals. They are going to help us with our recovery, with maintaining our muscle, as well as keeping us satiated throughout the day. Because if we're feeling fuller, not over full, but if we're feeling fuller, we're going to reduce those cravings and that want to overeat. So keeping up good quality proteins in each of our meals. Then hydration is another one. So it's so easy to stop drinking as much water as we used to when we're away. We also may be outside in the sun a lot more when we're on holiday, and possibly actually more active than normal when we're on holiday. So really want to focus on hydration. Keep drinking, keep your salts or BCAAs in your water. That's also going to help you keep you satiated, as well as at a cellular level, keep you hydrated. So really important, those two things to start off with is protein and hydration.
Yeah, and with those being the most important things that you want to keep up with because of doing lots of different exercises. You're probably also going to find that you will be going out to restaurants and things like that, so you might have some alcohol and so on and so forth. So it's really, really important for your hydration to stay up. If you are having alcohol, try your best to not have as much as what you normally would, because that is something that can really affect you, and it gives you that encouragement to then step outside of your diet. So that's a really important thing. I'm not saying don't enjoy it, but enjoy it in moderation.
Yeah, so with the alcohol, you could look at things like maybe don't drink every night, or you change look at the ingredients of the drinks that you're having, keep it lower sugar, slow down how much you're drinking, and obviously stay hydrated in between your drinks, having your water as well. So hopefully you're not drinking regularly at home when you're trying to stay fit and lean, and you want to indulge a little bit when you're away, but just look at that moderation. See, like, maybe I won't drink tonight. Play around with those sorts of things. So look at the ingredients and how much you are actually drinking, and how frequently as well.
And from the alcohol, going on to like the next thing that's really, really hard to stay away from is sugar. Sugar basically is in any and every food that you're going to have on holidays. So it's just like doing your research when you're going on holidays. You do your research to find out what type of ingredients are in the food that you're having. So it's actually reading the fine print. It does take maybe a little bit more time, but you will benefit from it if you do that. So you can have, with alcohol, so looking at the added things that they're adding to the alcohol, so the mixes and things like that. Try to stay more towards the clearer alcohols. When you're starting to get into the fruitier drinks, that's when they're putting syrups and all that sort of stuff in there, and it really, really affects you. So just to stay away from that stuff and do your research on it is paramount.
And then with the sugars, so it's going to be hard to completely avoid it. So many yummy delicacies when you're away, and each culture has different sweets and treats as well that you want to try or that you already love, and you don't want to miss out on. But where possible, be mindful. Once you start increasing the sugar load, that's when you're going to start having problems. The body can't digest it, it struggles to digest it. It does see it as a drug, so it's going to be very moreish, and you're going to get cravings and wanting more. And once we've got that load of sugar, we know what happens then. We put on body fat, we feel sluggish, we start feeling rubbish, the toxicity increases in the body. So watch out, be mindful of sugar. You could even try and avoid it altogether. I have a lot of ladies I work with who do try and do that, try and keep the carbs down and the sugars down, and indulge in other ways. You could have slightly larger portion sizes, or slightly more ingredients in your savoury meals, or a lower sugary sweet option. But so long as you keep your sugars down, you'll find you're actually going to be enjoying yourself more, and you'll be wanting to do more activities and fun things, because you'll be feeling good about yourself. So still be feeling nice in your bikini, or out and about, and in a good state of mind as well, because obviously our mind is affected by what we eat and how we feel.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's the one thing, side effect you'll feel straight away after having sugars and delicacies and things like that is your joints. Like, you'll just feel like you can't walk, or you feel inflamed and things like that. So to try and avoid them is really, really good, because you'll be more active.
Yeah. A couple of other things that are really important and good to try, and you don't have to try all of these, but pick a few that feel right for you. Intermittent fasting and portion sizes. So you could pick times throughout the day where you feel like, I'm going to eat from this time to this time, and then I'll fast from this time to this time, and see which works for you. You may already be doing that at home. You may just carry that rhythm across onto your holiday. A really big one is portion sizes. You could almost actually get away with having the holiday foods and even the sugar if you keep your portion sizes down. It's a massive one, but you can't add in everything. You can't increase portion sizes, increase sugar, increase alcohol, and reduce activity and stay in shape. But you could perhaps add in a little bit of alcohol, add in a little bit of sugar, increase activity a lot, but keep portion sizes down, and then you can get away with it. So you've got to pick and choose which ones you do if you want to stay feeling and looking great whilst you're away.
Yeah, so you can enjoy all the things that you want to enjoy on a holiday with just having the correct portion sizes, correct amounts, and so on and so forth. So like Naomi was saying before, is if you want to try and stay away from the sugars 100%, is just increasing your savoury portion sizes just that little bit, so then you're feeling more satiated and you don't want to go to the bakery or go to the shop and get cheap meals and things like that. So it's really, really good.
So then on to exercise. So there's a few little tips and tricks here. Now we can look at structured training, but short little hit sessions early in the morning, get the workout over and done so you feel like, okay, I've done something. Anything else is a bonus. Then we've got the activities throughout the day. So let's walk everywhere as opposed to catching transport. And normally we do that anyway when we're on holiday. And then fun activities. So all the fun things that you may be doing whilst you're on holiday that you don't normally do. Yesterday we went out foil surfing on the back of my brother's boat. And it's incredible how much cardio that actually feels like you're doing and how exhausted you are after. We don't normally do that at home. So that's another added activity that we did. And we'd already done our run in the morning. So we were able to then indulge a little bit after that because we just tripled our cardio and exercise output. So find those fun activities that that's easy to do, that you're already planning to do on your holiday. Walk a lot and throw in those exercises or that little HIIT workout or hotel gym workout in the morning, just in case you're not going to get some other activity in during the day.
And what you'll find, you'll probably end up being more active when you're out on holidays with all the things that you're planning to do with the friends or family or whatever it is. So it's really good to sometimes try and track everything you do, whether you've got a Garmin or whatever it is. It's really, really good because then you can see how much exercise or output you've put in through the day or through the 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long you go on holidays is to do that, and then sort of makes you feel okay if you do have that sugary eclair or donut or whatever it is. So you know that the exercise that you've done, you're going to be able to accommodate it, but then following day still be able to work it off. So exercise on holidays is really, really good. Obviously, in moderation with friends and family and all that sort of stuff. So being active is a massive thing that we sort of like to promote on holidays. It's walking everywhere. You get to see so much more and experience so much more.
Yeah. And you're with friends and family, so how about you do things together? It doesn't have to be a workout with them, but the fun activity, enjoy it with everyone. Everybody does it together, then it doesn't feel like you're even doing exercise. So that's a great one. And Jerry mentioned a really good point with the tracking. Now you can track your activity. You can also track your food and how you're feeling, and you don't have to do your measurements and weight all the time, but you can stay mindful of how my clothes feeling, how am I looking in the mirror, how's my any inflammation around my face, am I feeling like I'm still on track, or you can actually track it if you want to. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah, the best thing when you go on holidays is when you come back and you're either leaner or you haven't put on weight, because 99% of the time people go away on holidays and then they come back and I've got to work off my holiday weight and things like that. But when you go away on holidays and you do the right thing in regards to eating and everything like that, and you come back and you're like, I haven't put on any weight. It's the most amazing feeling. And then you want to plan more, do more, and all that sort of stuff. So going on holidays and staying lean is awesome. It's really, really good. It makes you feel like you're untouchable.
Yeah, and then you don't have all this hard work to undo all the damage when you get home as well. So that's another great reason to stay on track.
So also with tracking, when if you've got said before, if you've got a Garmin, and you're tracking your activities and things like that, another good thing to track on holidays is your sleep. So when you're on holidays, because you'll be possibly eating outside of your diet, it's really, really good to sort of check out your sleep scores throughout the night and in the morning when you wake up to see how high was your stress, how much did you sleep, and your heart rate, HRV, and to see how that goes through the night. Sometimes you'll find that if you've had 2 glasses of wine and then you go to sleep and you look at your sleep score, your stress will be maybe right through the roof. So, and that's a good thing and be mindful of, because stress during the night affects your sleep massively. And to keep your stress down when you're sleeping is really, really important, because then you'll find you wake up, you're feeling refreshed, you're feeling rejuvenated, and you can't wait to go and do the next exercise. So.
Yeah, and of course you're probably sleeping less than normal when you're away on holiday, so just keep your eye on that as well. Just make sure that you are getting adequate sleep and you're not eating into both ends of the day. Maybe do something early one day, something late the next day, and just that's where the balance comes in. You still want to do the fun things, but try not to completely go off the rails. If you're wanting to stay on track and wanting to stay fit and lean, those are the little strings that you're going to need to draw in. So you're not doing all the things, but tracking your sleep, monitoring your sleep, being aware of your sleep, being aware of what you're drinking, the hydration, the alcohol, the food, the portion sizes, when making sure there is some time of fasting so the body's getting some digestion in there, and as we said as well, the activities. So Hopefully these tips and tricks have helped and made you feel more excited and motivated and hopeful that you can go away whenever you want and stay fit and lean, and it doesn't have to be a case of go away and blow everything up and come back feeling and looking awful and having all this hard work to undo.
Having to work harder when you get back. It's
Yeah.
the most frustrating thing, but doing the right thing on holidays can be done. You've just got to have good mindset, strong commitment to yourself and obviously friends and family, but it's the most amazing feeling to come back on holidays and not feel like you have to put in 10 times more hard work to get the weight off.
Yeah, planning and balance is what we'd say. I think planning and balance. If you get that right, then you can have it all. Hope this has helped, guys. Hope you've benefited in some way. Tag a friend if there's someone that you think needs to know this. They're going on holiday. Please like and subscribe. It really helps us to get to help more people. We love doing this and we love speaking to you all. Let us know if there's anything else you want us to chat about. Put your comments down below and can't wait to see you next week.
Take it easy, guys.
See ya.